Mac, and welcome back to another video. So in this video, we're going to be breaking down an AUDUSD trade that I took this morning. Also posted this exact trade on my Instagram story. For those of you who don't follow me on Instagram, you may want to follow me on Instagram because it's going to give you not only a little bit of insight as to the pair I'm looking at. Sometimes I'll post my points of interest. Other times I'll post when I take a trade, as soon as I get in the market, things like that. Other times I'll post my targets and where I'm looking for price to head. So if you find a re-entry, then you'll know where you can set your own target, right? There's a lot of benefits to following me on Instagram, as well as staying up to date with what's going on in the markets, all right? We've been talking a lot about cryptocurrency on my Telegram story, as well as a couple of other things. So feel free to check it out. Feel free to follow me. And by the time this video drops, that trade may still be on my Instagram story. So feel free to go check it out for live proof. All right. So if you're not a part of the YouTube family, feel free to join the YouTube family. I have a lot of information and a lot of things coming and a lot of things in store for you guys that you guys can benefit off of. And I want you all to be a part of it. Not to mention, we do have some type of NFT project releasing soon. All right. So with that being said, let's hop right into it. So as you guys can see, the M15 point of interest that I'm using in this case here was this area right over here. All right, now if you guys don't understand how to choose your M15 points of interest, that is where the masterclass is going to be able to assist you if you don't have the funds right now to purchase the course, right? I'm going to be going over how I select my zones, as well as how I take my entries in depth and the psychology behind why those entries work, all right? But that's going to be in the masterclass along with other information, but we're not going to get into that right now. So this was the zone that I selected for New York session, trading with my students this morning. All right, price traded into this area, all right? And if we go to the 1 minute time frame, I'm simply just using certain entries confluences in order to actually take an entry on this trade. Now, actually, in this case, I believe I used the M5 time frame. My bad, guys. It was a little bit more clear. Yes. So I used the M5 time frame in this case here. All right, this trade breakdown is going to be super quick because, I mean, it's very, very straightforward. So we can see that price sweeps liquidity with this move to the downside here. All right. And then price slowly starts to make its way back to the upside. Right? Now, before we actually take a trade, we need certain confluences to take place that match liquidity, market structure, as well as supply and demand. Right? So when you see all of those entry confluences take place, then you can understand and be sure that you're on the right side of the market and you won't be getting left behind or taking an entry where you probably shouldn't be taking an entry. Usually our entries take place around news events as well. Okay, and those news events usually will push or pull price towards our entry. So I believe some news was released at around 9:30, which was here. Price pushed to the upside just a little bit, then pushed to the downside, tagged us into the market, and then continued to push to the upside. So if you're someone who trades, right, and you don't like to trade around news events, no worries at all, okay? Those news events are nothing to be afraid of if you are properly mentored, which if you're mentored by me, you will be, and if you understand the concepts that are discussed within the mentorship program in the course, then you will always be on the right side of the market. And the times that you're not, that is why we manage risk, only risking 1% of our account per trade. So in this case here, we see that price trades up into our supply here. We have a failed reaction. Price trades back to the downside. We could have actually taken an entry here based on a more advanced way of taking advantage of price. But in my case here, I did not. I waited for the full confluence simply because I knew we had high impact news that was releasing around 9:30 in that range, right? So price continued to push to the upside. We left a bit of inefficiency here. Price dropped some inducement here, and we continue to create uptrend structure. News was released, and then price traded back down into this area here. Okay, I took my first entry opportunity here, all right, and then I simply just set my stop loss below this region here, right? Now, we can see price came very, very close to hitting that stop loss, and if you guys go on my Instagram, you'll literally see I barely stayed in the trade. Like, I missed the stop loss literally by spread because price definitely hit, you know, this area here. You don't quite see it on AUDUSD trading server, okay? But if you go to my Instagram story, you will see it. And sometimes that happens, but you have to trust your analysis. So in this case, we risked around 4.5 pips. You could have rounded that up to 5 pips, but I'm fine with using half numbers. And then our first target was this region right here where I closed about 80% of the position. So I closed 80% of the position around, let's move this. Here we go, around 6.42%. And then I'm leaving the rest to simply run. All right, for around 11.13%. Right, so I only have around 10 to 20% on the table. I think it's somewhere around 12 to 15, so it's closer to around 10. But we're going to leave the rest to run. if it hits target, it hits target. The stop loss is still open, as you guys will see from my Instagram post. So if price reverses and pushes to the downside, that is no problem whatsoever. If you guys do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. And if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, feel free to subscribe in order to see my daily day trades, intraday trades, and higher time frame swing trades. With that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Much love. Peace out.